I had this fun, if diabolical, idea recently to make a sim that actually has the ability to cause the death of another sim with just a little bit of work. The way I see it, comedy is one of only a couple ways to reliably bring out grim without cheating or cheesing in The Sims 4. Is it worth it? No. It turns out you need a lot more than comedy, but I can tell you what all I had to do to make it happen. The Sims has kind of lost its teeth, and you may tell me it never had any teeth to begin with, but then I would ask you, then how the heck are they now noticeably more dull? Anyway, this idea uses concepts from a few packs to create a really potent scenario when it works. Which isn't now, but you'll eventually see what I mean. So let's go over the idea, things that may make it better, and see how well it works out. To be honest, I'm kind of afraid I'm going to take out my own sim in the process. First, the setup and factors. This will revolve around the Sims 4's comedy skill because it's going to help with the extra playful bonuses on Sims, and possibly whole rooms of Sims if I have my way. We will be working on the Jokestar aspiration too, as its reward is the hilarious trait, which means this Sim's jokes never fail. The Sims 4's entertainer career lets you pick between comedy and music themed branches. Obviously, we're going comedian here. I just wanted to mention this for total newbies who don't know this exists, as comedy certainly is not one of the most popular skills, even if every Sim that tells a joke has it. Perhaps that's because the veterans stay far, far away from playful as a mood because it kind of has a reputation for sending Sims to their maker. With jokes, charisma helps, but obviously not necessarily with Jokestar's hilarious trait. Still, I want him to be charismatic so that he can use some friendly socials to build up a target Sim's happiness. As you can see, I did make the Sim a vampire. This is a choice that helps a ton here. Vampires get mood controlling abilities at high ranks and can do a sort of area of effect, casting a strong emotion. So if I rank up Vamp, I can make everyone around my Sim playful. But I do intend to see if it can be done without it. It's just there as an option and to speed up skills. It turned out there was a problem with this later, and a big one. During the creation of this sim, I was sitting there pondering on traits, and I realized that not only do they barely matter, but that I was afraid to pick certain ones. See, hysterical sort of works like this. You get enough happy points along with playful, and a sim can then laugh themselves to death. You need around plus 16 to get hysterical, but every point matters. So any traits that'd make my sim happy when he's doing his thing could in theory cause him to get hysterical too. This is a playthrough that definitely takes some mood management. Okay, so I know a few people wish I'd learned to build. I at least used eaves on this house. It's intentionally vacant throughout most of it with a locked door only my sim can enter. I intend to make this into a comedy hall for use in my experiments. It's got an area for the vampire to fill his limited needs and make gummy bear pancakes later if I need them. A few other mechanics will come into play, but I'll go over them when we get there. The amounts of happy and playful we'll need are enormous. It's going to be easier to pull off getting another sim hysterical in my sim's own home. If I have to, I'm pulling everything out in order to succeed. So the early phase of this plan is rather boring, and we're going to skip past a lot of that grind. I got into the comedy career to fund the project, worked on writing joke routines, brought Mila Munch everywhere I go to drink from her, etc. Just everyday stuff normal Sims players do. Everyone comes to hate my sim because he feeds right there in public. He hits the worst reputation before he even becomes a 1-star celebrity. At first, it seems really hard to get Sims to pay attention to my sim doing comedy routines, maybe because they suck. But they can be refined on the computer to make them higher quality once you rank up a bit. This likely helps with participation, but I'm not sure just yet. While working on it all, I've got to build up those vampire points, but that comes fairly gradually, doing things like moving as a bat, drinking from Sims, and using powers just for the sake of ranking up. Vlad is helpful as he can provide training. Eventually, I start to paint, as playful paintings are going to be helpful, but I use that mainly as a means of making money for now. The low-level playful paintings are not worth keeping at all because higher tier ones are exponentially better. So it's a process. I get promoted, munch on munch, train with Vlad, and refine comedy routines. I build this up until I'm finally near level 10 in comedy and have several thousand to throw into renovations for my comedy hall. When you get average quality routines, people will start to pay attention to comedy when you do it in public, and you can even make a bit of money regardless of how many you watch. Making playful paintings and using all my money on decor for my comedy hall, it eventually gets to +3 playful and +3 happy for everyone in the area. Perfect. Just need a few other factors to fill the gaps. I founded a club to give myself a minor advantage. See, clubs can have an emotional theme. We first got to get some points, but making the gathering focused on tell jokes and perform comedy, they will gather points while I continue to level up. So I can buy the playful theme and camaraderie for my club so that they'll get +1 playful and happy. This test also lets me see how well things are going as for making other Sims playful, and it's not going well at all. They're barely making it to very playful at times, so I'm only halfway there. At least the paintings and decorations are helping, but they're the only things contributing right now. At one point, Grim shows up unexpectedly to reap Vlad. I brought him along when I visited the library to feed on Munch, and he somehow stood in the sun long enough to die. I really suspected a bug. His corpse was even invisible. No good when Sims die for no reason, says the guy making a game to try to kill Sims with laughter. But see, I'm in control of that, and my Sim has lost his mentor. Oh well. A bug lets me use the influence emotions ability without it being really unlocked. It takes my energy and gives me vamp points. So a bug got me into a situation and a bug will get me out of it, or so I thought. Grinding this out, I'm finally a high-ranking vampire and can spend the points I saved on emotional control, which fill the gap. See, high-rank emotional control gives +8 playful to everyone in the area. But I'm more than a little annoyed. Imagine doing all this, then it turns out that even when you get to Master Vampire, the emotion control isn't working, even though you've bought it. By it, I mean the game pack you bought, the ability you bought, or both. I look online and find someone has already reported the bug, but also found code is completely missing in the game's tuning files. I keep a backup copy of XML from a couple of years ago, and I check for changes, and lo and behold, the code is indeed accidentally left out. Damn. So I end up patching my own game. Mind you, this is the only kind of mod I know how to make, one that makes a minor change. In this case, the code is there from the old version, so I simply make a package that fixes the playful emotional control and leave the rest broken. I'm grateful to Simvasion for having posted what was missing, but it's kind of sad I had to do this, given this was supposed to be fixed last time. Okay, so I reload, I confirm that the aura ability is working again, yeah, and my vampire comedian is hitting level 10 comedy, so it's time to give this a go. The first thing to do is start a club gathering because that'll get some of the Sims here, and we're also going to throw a lampoon party. These get unlocked when you have a really bad reputation as a celebrity. I'm picking it because it's comedy focused, and it's a way to get more Sims to my house. Right on. Okay, so yeah, there's our host. Guest of honor, Mila Munch. Where are you? And then we're just going to invite everyone we know. Make sure that everybody comes in. Yeah, they all hate me because I feed in public. We will be joining at the aristocrat household. All right. I did a dry run of this, and it's really annoying that they kind of spawn over here, and yeah, they aren't in any hurry to come to the party. We need a professional, don't you know? Okay, we're going to put on a show now. There's nothing else to do in this house, as you'll see. So, this door is locked to everyone. There's a bathroom. And there is a mirror where people can calm down if they really want to. Hopefully, most of them will end up watching the show. It often does not work out that way. To check on their emotional state, they should at least be playful, because as you can see, I'm very playful. We got the club vibe, camaraderie, high needs from cheating, +3 beautifully decorated, and +3 playful. So we get +6 playful, and doing this will set everyone over the edge. This is what I had to mod. I didn't make it stronger. I think it comes out +8. I just made it work. So everybody in the area will get a playful mood. And now at least a few of them are going to be going crazy with laughter. We're going to work the crowd a little bit. There's a crowd-pleasing story. I want to get people involved in conversation. So we've got 1 hysterical, 2, 3, 4. Yes. It's working. Yeah, not all of them, but most of them are getting there. But we've got more people in the area now, so we're going to use the ability again and make sure that we've got plenty of them hysterical. It's great that they actually use the chairs. That is so rare. If I focused on one, you know, it would probably work. Oh, well, we've got our first death. Oh. And now what happens, unfortunately, is they all gather around and they're gonna start mourning, and it's gonna be really weird. Wait, we have another? Yep. Oh. We'll make sure everybody's nice and playful. This is diabolical. No cheating, really. Just a lot of grind. Club boost, playful paintings, high-level comedian, beautiful decor. Oh, and I didn't even bring out the silly gummy bear pancakes yet. I have excellent ones, so it would be more likely that they would get a happy moodlet from it too. See, you can see how my sim is locked up there. Grim's got work to do today. See, they're not gonna pay attention to this yet, but the moment they stop paying attention to Grim, I want them to pay attention to me. Get out of my way, or just be inside me. No, is this dark or what? I realize how absurd it is to put in these hours making this build just for this moment. I'm glad that Grim knows how to queue up multiple sims for... Ah! Here we go! Oh, wrong person. Oh! Oh my god! It's working well, very well. Oh no, that's me, Lamanche. That's my dinner. Oh, this is just fantastic. It couldn't have worked out much better. I mean, I doubt that, you know, I don't know the rate that hysteria kills. It's probably about 25%. Let's make sure that we get as many as possible, given all the time I put into this. Oh no, they'll go home now. So, there's that 4. We've got two still warm on the ground here. Now, you see if I can tie them up in conversation. They're having a really hard time here. They're laughing their asses off at the same time they're crying. Oh, yeah. Oh, buddy. I'm so sorry. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Good night, sweet prince. So, that's how my mind this build works. I'm hysterical. Oh, shit. Yeah, this kid into your household. The other, yeah, look at what's going on here. Yeah, we've got a lot going on. Unfortunately, being involved in the funny conversations makes you hysterical too. But, you know, I'm the only one smart enough to use this mirror that I did provide to them. I don't know. It might be a fitting end if I died as well. Hey, that didn't take long. Can we get, like, even one more kill? I'm not even getting to use the funniest joke in the world. I guess you need, like, hilarious conversation or something like that going on for it to function. It doesn't appear. But I don't want to just joke around with one. I want to get them all going. Yeah, you can still kill in The Sims, but it takes a good bit of effort and planning to do so. It's never been the focus of the game, but I had to go to these lengths to kill, and I'm pretty sure it's probably the only way, or less than a handful of ways. This and maybe something else. I'm not really sure. And it's not reliable. I can't pick who dies here. But I think I got results, wouldn't you say? I mean, there are 5 urns on the ground here. Oh, haha. Oh, don't sell yourself short, Carl. We can do better. I think anybody that leave would be wise. I'm not dying, am I? Well, that's what happens when you go all out on playful. Vampire turns out to be pretty necessary. You would have to do what I did to get this to work right now, because they somehow left code out of the game. It doesn't do a proper check to make sure you unlocked the perk, and that's really all. I just put that exact code back in, but it's missing from all of the influence emotion abilities. It's really easy to make simple mods like that, though, but you've got to extract the game tuning and all that. This is the kind of little project I think is fun to do, though. I mean, I had a goal, and it worked out. At least it worked out. But I almost got tanked by a bug, you know? That would have really pissed me off. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wow. Managed 6 deaths. But, you know, I needed clubs, vampires. Oh, we've got another one. I needed clubs from Get Together, Vampire Game Pack, and the base game to do this. Well, thank you for watching. I don't know what the purpose of this was, except to maybe show how you can stack a lot of effects and maybe get something that amuses you out of it.